We live or we die by the clock. That's how long we have.
Castaway is a film that came out in 2000 that talks about the character Chuck Nolan, who's played by Tom Hanks. Chuck Nolan is a FedEx systems analyst who is all about everything being on time. He wants to make sure that he gets all his packages delivered before Christmas so that his company is able to combat the postal service and gain more customers.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 50 seconds! When that clock hits 0, you send this truck. I don't care if Lennon himself comes out of his tomb with a priority package.
When he finishes his rounds with delivering packages, he goes home to spend Christmas with his family and his girlfriend, who he's planning to propose to. However, at the last minute, he's called into work, and he has to go on a quick plane ride over the ocean. Should just be a couple of days, but it'll be back by New Year's, hopefully.
Okay, I'll cancel Saturday.
No, don't. If I'm not here, I'm not.
Just so long as you're here New Year's Eve.
I will be here New Year's Eve, I promise.
However, the plane ride goes terribly wrong as he ends up crashing in the middle of the ocean and being washed up on an island that nobody lives on. Stranded with only a few FedEx packages that floated along with him, and just him and the wilderness, he's got to figure out a way to get back home and survive until he's able to. And this film, it's really interesting. It only really has Chuck Nolan in it for a majority of the film. Tom Hanks does a really good job portraying Chuck Nolan, but I kind of wanted to discuss a little bit about what I thought was so great about this film. Since there isn't too much wrong with it, real quick, there's like a couple of words, nothing crazy, no F words or anything, and there's a couple of scenes shirtless, how hot it is. But other than that, not much more. There's a little bit of drinking with champagne, but nobody's really seen drunk. And the violence content, sometimes Chuck Nolan does get a little bloody. And the plane crash scene is very intense with multiple people dying. We even see a corpse later. But this film was just really good because it showed how realistic it is that if you're stranded on an island, it's really you for yourself. You are alone. You have no help. You have to survive. And even the writer stranded himself on an island so that he could get so realistically capture this experience, because it's not an experience that every human sees.
Anybody!
So you have to see Chuck Nolan strive to find food, strive to find water, because he can't drink out of the ocean with salt water, so he's got to learn how to crack open coconuts. And he uses the FedEx packages. He uses like ice skates to make an axe. He's got to be very creative in the way that he does that. He even turns a volleyball into somebody he can talk to by using his blood to put a smiley face on it and names it Wilson. And that's what keeps him, for a majority of the time, sane. And there are even parts, he's stranded on this island for 5 years. And there are times that he just wants to hang himself. He goes up on top of a mountain to hang himself, but it doesn't go through with it, which is a good thing.
I made a rope. And I went up to the summit to hang myself. I had to test it, of course. You know me. And the weight of the log snapped the limb of the tree. So I couldn't even kill myself the way I wanted to.
But it just shows how depressed he was as a person and how ready he was to give up, but he kept going on. That's the great thing about this film, is he never gives up. He wants to make it back to his girlfriend. So finally, he decides he's going to build a boat and get out to sea and see if somebody can come and rescue him, right? He gets out there, someone does find him, but he waited 5 years to do this because he didn't have the skills he needed yet to survive. He first had to grow how to survive, and then he had to figure out how to get food, and then he finally figures out how to get off the island. And when he gets back to the United States, everyone's happy he's back, but his girlfriend has already moved on from him and got married again. And this is really realistic, because if somebody went down in a plane, you wouldn't wait for them. You'd have to move on at some point after 5 years.
I'm so sad that I don't have Kelly. But I'm so grateful that she was with me on that island.
So she's married, she has a kid, and Chuck Nolan is like depressed because he wants to be with his girlfriend, but he realizes that he was gone and she had to make choices, and those choices make it so he can't be with her anymore. And it's so heartbreaking to see that. And it's so realistic for this film. It's just an amazing film. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's just really great to see how realistic it is and how Chuck Nolan's character arc is just so well developed in the way how he had to learn how to survive and make it back when most people wouldn't be able to do that. So I highly recommend that you give this movie a check out. 4 out of 5. It's a great film. I would recommend 13 and up to see this. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Merry Christmas.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'll be right back.